All right, everybody, we want to take a second to talk to you about an amazing sponsor. We have an amazing relationship with RayAllen.com. Ray Allen is a one-stop shop for everything dog, not just working dogs. Everything dog that you need, you can go down there, check them out, RayAllen.com. Awesome people. They got everything you need.
Another one of our favorite partnerships is with Dogtra. They've been with us from the start. Great collars, great ball poppers, great GPS tracking, big dog, small dog, bark collars, everything. I got everything like that they have at the kennel. We use it every day. Be sure to head them up, dogtra.com. Listen for the discount code later in the episode.
Hey guys, it's going to happen. August 16th through the 19th. HITS is coming back. The HITS Canine Conference in Orlando, Florida, August 16th through the 19th. Get on there. It's the biggest, the best. Check it out. 𝗬cie9.net. 𝗬cie9.net. Get registered now.
Take the guesswork out of making sure you're feeding your working dog correctly by using Kinetic Dog Food. Hit them up at kineticdogfood.com and look them up on the Instagrams at Kinetic Dog Food. Take all the guesswork out and do it right from the beginning.
We love Horizon Structures. Dude, this stuff is so awesome, man. You can get online. You can talk to them. You could build it you want from mild to wild. They'll come bring it to your place, set it down on your pad, hook up your power, hook up your water, and you can put dogs in it that day. If you don't believe me, check out some guys like Justin Rigney's got a great setup there. Ask him. Check him out, horizonstructures.com. All right, everybody, we are back. Working Dog Radio, broadcasting the bite from the Blueline K9 seminar here in beautiful Pittsburgh. It's freezing cold. It was 87 here on Monday, Monday, and then now it's 40 on Wednesday. So, anyways, it's been good turnout. You guys saw, a lot of you guys saw our IG Live that we filmed today. Just walked around the place. It's a nice conference. Good to see a lot of friends, a lot of people we know. A lot of people that have been guests on the podcast are teaching here or have booths. We walked around. We're like, yeah, he's been on. So we get a lot of guys that come on.
Some more than once.
Yeah, some repeat guests. So what we like to do at these conferences then is snag folks that we know or don't know and get episodes. As you can already tell from the Get Sent episode, these are a little bit shorter, 30 minutes, which is nice. So we're going to bang some out. But Ted, who do we got right now?
Well, I've debated whether we should call them by their names or by what everyone calls them.
Yeah.
So we have Wortheless Handler and Denmother K9
present.
Yes.
They insisted that we call this episode 169.
It's the only way we would do it.
It's very
doing
juvenile
it together. Sure, yeah.
So, but yeah, both are previous guests on the podcast. You wouldn't know that Worthless Handler was because his episode 40 moved. Episode 40. I've met a couple people that were here that have seen it.
Yep.
Or that listened to it. That got taken down and derailed. Kind of derailed his job for a while, and then relocated to somewhere else. And here we are. We've been trying to redo this for a while, and then I try not to use your real name, but Denmother K9 here. Is here teaching so his medical class, his canine medical stuff. If you go back and listen, I don't remember what episode you were on, but it was really good.
99.
99? Yep. Is it? Seriously?
99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. Those were really good. Ted and I have been dying to get you guys on here, especially because even since you both have been on here, your private business stuff has really grown and you're still working and things like that. So thanks for taking a second to get in here.
Absolutely.
Ted, do you have any stickers on you? Did you get a sticker today?
I think Gary put one on me.
You're clean, buddy.
Fucking Scott put one on me earlier.
Yeah, these guys are going around slapping stickers on people's backs. The Worthless Handler stickers and the High Drive Canine. I just was over there. It's like 4:30 right now, something like that. I just was over there at their booth. Definitely stink of alcohol. Definitely. There's definitely some booze flowing already over
That's
there.
Scott.
He brought a huge bottle of something. So, anyways, people...
Capri Suns and whatnot in my booth.
Right, I saw
Farm.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoon's Farm. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you taking the little sticking that little straw
Absolutely.
down there. But anyways, to my left, if you're watching on YouTube, is Denmother K9, and Worthless Handler is over there next to
YouTube.
Ted.
I didn't know.
So we'll start over there with you.
Okay.
What's been going on, man?
Man, well, since the last podcast, that was eventful. I spoke about some events that I went through at my agency, and obviously that agency didn't like the truth coming out. So
Real quick, and for the record, we never said your name, the state you work in, the agency, your dog's name,
correct.
nothing.
Nothing.
And man,
Got Blue Falcon.
if you were in your department and you were a Blue Falcon, you're a real piece of shit. Like you're
Yeah.
a real piece of shit.
Especially when you're the Canine sergeant.
Right.
That's
Yes.
the one that did it.
Yeah.
Snitch.
Went and told on him that. So the episode was out for I don't know before we pulled it down. 3 hours,
couple
2,
hours.
3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only one we've ever pulled down. We've had to pull some down and edit some stuff that maybe some former tier 1 guys said that they probably shouldn't have said. They're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have said that. And soft guy said something one time. We had to go back and delete something he said. But that whole episode got pulled down and then
Yep.
turned your life upside down for a minute there.
It did. It was stressful and it sucked because I had a baby on the way, and they were trying to terminate me and do all kinds of things. Had to get an attorney, as well. I mean, you guys know because they called you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but the grass is greener. I went from a city agency to a county, and I'm able to police again. Got a terrific administration, terrific sheriff that understands the necessity for proactive work, and not only encourages it but supports it. So, man, I'm loving it. Got a great dog, phenomenal dog. So I got zero complaints.
Did you move states too?
Nope.
No, state. Okay.
Nope. Yep.
You gotta have a good sheriff let you have a beard like that.
Oh yeah, he's.
Look at that thing.
I know, it's beautiful, isn't it?
So
Smells pretty good too.
It's
usually.
it's a smoky musk, really.
It's very pointy.
Yeah.
Unlike Ted, I'm watching the dichotomy.
Yeah.
Two different. So the other thing granted, the Worthless Handler brand was catching steam when we had you on, but it's gone crazy. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, from some of the things we talked about in episode 40, it was just people relate to what I was going through. It was, the no support, where the name comes from, of just being called worthless, being treated worthless, the redhead stepkid, of the canine, or of law enforcement as the canine unit. So I think just agencies around the country and whatnot were just experiencing the same thing, and they could relate, and that's how it started to grow, really.
Yeah, my new favorite thing is because Ted sent me a picture of it the other day, the TikTok cop sticker that you came up with, because I go off about that on there. Somebody mentioned that.
You're the first one I thought of when I posted that.
Oh, I go nuts about that, and it gets me worked up. It gets me worked up. I'm like, if you're going to be on TikTok showing videos of your dog doing work and some cool stuff like that,
Have at it.
Awesome. But if you're on there dancing with your dog, making out, whatever, with your dog, doing all this other stuff, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. And I would rather, it tells me all I need to know about you as a cop and what you're doing. Some of the biggest accounts online, most popular people dance with their dogs online. And I'm like, you're a chump. I don't respect you as a cop, so I don't respect you as a canine handler. I don't respect what you're doing. I don't give a fuck if you have 300,000 followers. I don't care. Handle your calls, do your job, train your dog and work your dog, and stop dancing on the fucking internet with that dog.
The excuse is always community policing. That's building some relationship. The reality is, if they hate the police, seeing you dance is not going to change their perception of you whatsoever. Community policing is going out there and hunting bad people. That's community policing. They want that type of service.
Yeah, and guys just start getting addicted to the numbers and the likes and the fame because you're a cop. You're not supposed to be famous.
I mean,
right?
Denmother, he's a world famous
Well,
celebrity.
he's
I don't know if you guys know that or not.
Well, we're going to get into his autograph
My dance
here in a
moves.
minute.
I
but-
got it right here.
Dance
Right.
moves.
You do, yeah. You got lucky there. So, people always want to know. You get asked all the time, where in this sick mind of yours does this stuff come from that you have? Some of your the Blue Falcon stuff you use that I'm sure you still have, but the feathers and things you can put on, and where they screwed up the bite. What does it say?
Bite blocker.
Yeah, does it say thanks high speed or something on there.
Yeah. Next time, stay on perimeter.
Next time, stay on
Yeah.
perimeter. Yeah.
That's the best. Those things are great.
Man, it just comes from just the experience on the job. I mean, really. And I've had some cool people reach out and say, like, give me a couple ideas. Like Jesus Take the Lead, that was some dude on a track from Florida. Was
Really?
Yeah, he just ate it, and he's like, take the lead, and his dog was gone, kind of thing. So, I just kind of take it from what I've experienced or what kind of retarded things go through my brain. And I have like a notepad on my phone because I usually think of something in the middle of nothing, I'm doing something. So I try to take notes real quick and make some kind of dumb design about
I like
it later.
the meth treasure.
Oh, that's Tweaker treasure.
Yeah.
Tweaker
and
meth
treasure.
and despair. Everyone that's searched a meth head's car knows that smell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's
You find swords, dildos, and fucking
and torn apart VCRs and cords, man.
Is there any dildo swords? Or?
I mean, it's not.
Those
It's,
are friend. Yeah.
yeah.
asking for a friend.
Right. So, but anyways, in the interim of all this, you're still rocking a dog. Let's talk about your dog.
Yep, Canine Bolo. He was generously donated, thanks not only to Denmother over here, but Christina with Canines of Valor. She's phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about her. And Brad with Pacesetter K9 in Texas. Phenomenal guy, phenomenal training facility. So they donated Bolo, the training hours, everything. Just a bunch of genuine, selfless people came together and took care of me. And Bolo is, everyone's going to say this about their dog, but he's 1 in a million to me. Been in a couple critical incidents where I 100% credit him to saving my life. And that was a couple months on with him. So the dog's proved himself. The dog has engaged. The dog has found pounds of meth. And I'm at a 9-man agency that's, that doesn't happen here kind of agency. And then we got a good sheriff that comes in and brings proactive guys, lets me have a dog, lets us go put in the work and supports us. So, man, I can't say enough good things about my sheriff or my dog.
Pounds of meth. Back when I was on in Canton, meth was really not that big. It was still crack.
I can get meth easier than weed.
Really?
Meth is
so can Ted.
It's the state bird of Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Meth is
It's everywhere. It's so cheap and accessible. It's
and I think the Canton guys tell me that it made a comeback when people got sick of dying on heroin because they went through the heroin thing like everybody else did.
Yeah.
And then the meth kind of started taking that, but I was told they're back to crack. Canton is crackdown. That's what it always been. But I've talked to guys from other places. They're like, I haven't seen crack in 5 years. I'm like, yeah, Canton, it's all the time.
because they have it all in Canton.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So people order from you on the website?
Yep. Worthlesshandler.com.
Nice. Worthlesshandler.com. Get on there and take a look. If you haven't seen it, came out with brand new stuff. I'm definitely getting some TikTok cop shit on there. I think there's even like a Facebook page or Instagram page about bad TikTok cops.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it.
And I like seeing like the police post guys bash on them.
That's a great page.
Street cop guys bash on them on there. And it's great. It's not just dog guys.
No,
it's
no,
all
no.
those other.
No.
I saw a guy on one of those in the early beginnings of this stuff, and he's dancing, singing on duty in his cruiser, and his radio's on, and you can hear a guy calling for help on his radio. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Seriously, fuck you. You should be fired for that, in my opinion.
100%.
And I know the guy, and I know the situation. He got jammed up. So, who else we got?
Well, we have Denmother K9 on again, sporting some accessories.
Got a sweet cane. I have a condition.
Yeah. He's used that to park up front.
Yeah. Just get free parking,
Don't tow my car. I have a cane. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Speaking of, real quick, they had the local. I think it was. I don't know if it was the PD or who it was. Had. Hold on. I'm gonna grab that.
Reach.
So you go to YouTube. Take a look at this right here. This is what I'm talking about. Love it. They came into the classrooms this morning and told people they had to move their cars from this one place or they're going to tow them. And they went down there and there was a cop who was going to tow a cruiser with a dog in it.
It was a mortar unit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, we're
Or
in
his boots
downtown.
polished?
You saved the world today, buddy.
We're in downtown Pittsburgh,
Right.
and like, if you don't know anything about Pittsburgh, like, we're on this little peninsula between the two rivers, like where the confluence is, right? And I mean, we're like, if you look out the window here, you can, like, if the buildings were here, you could see like where the rivers meet. So we're like way down here, and parking is a bitch.
It is.
There is no
So
parking.
so like I get it, but
They have a marathon on Sunday, and that's their thing. They're already marking off no parking. It's Wednesday. People still got to work. People still got to come down here. The race isn't till Sunday.
I don't know what it is about the state, because every time we go to Philly too, people in Philly just park wherever. Let's park in the middle of the street and get out and turn the car off. And you're like,
fuck you. I got here first.
no. And people will fight over parking spots. I saw a fight over a parking spot last time we were there.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Pennsylvania. I don't know what
So-
the fuck it is about this place.
All right, we love the Perkinsons down in North Carolina at Highland Canine Training. They are great people, great trainers. They got a good business model. They're awesome folks. We've been with them for a long time. They're also super smart, and they understand that a lot of agencies are struggling to have manpower, so they're not sending people away for training. You guys have been there. You know, you put in, denied, lack of manpower. So they've created an online course section of their website, tacticalpoliceK9training.com. You get on there under training, the online course. But here's the best thing is they offer a supervisor, canine supervisor course, which we know a lot of police canine supervisors don't get to go to training. They don't know as much as they should. Right here online, the course discusses topics such as proper selection of dogs and handlers, proper deployment, effective allocation and utilization, as well as liability and the FLSA issues, which we know is where all the legal stuff comes from, interdepartmental. The course can be taken at your convenience, and you will receive a certificate of completion at the end. They're offering an amazing discount, guys. 30% off using the discount code WDR30. It's a no-brainer. If you're a police supervisor and you guys have manpower issues and you can't go, get on tacticalpoliceK9training.com under the training tab. Get on that supervisor's course, man. I'm telling you, it's a smart decision.
Another one of our favorite partnerships with the podcast here is the one and only Dogtra. The Dogtra guys have been producing some amazing tools in the dog training world for a long time. Everything from e-collars, GPS tracking, ball trainers. If it's electric and you use it with a dog, they've probably done it. They're the best. They are revolutionizing the way you communicate with the dog. I use it daily, whether I'm using pets. I use the 200C on most of our pets. Most of my patrol guys will use a 1900 hands-free, 1900S hands-free, and then I use the ball popper pretty much daily with all of our detection dogs for imprinting on our box protocols. So hit them up at Dogtra Official on Instagram and Facebook, and then you've got dogtra.com. And when you go there, if you use the discount code WDR10, they'll give you 10% off a single item over $200. So if you're looking at a 1900S or that Ball Popper Pro or one of those things, it'll knock a substantial chunk off there. So hit them up, doctor.com, WDR10.
So everybody knows that Ted and I not only train police dogs, we train pet dogs, right? We train dogs. So it's why our relationship with Ray Allen Manufacturing is so important. These guys have been doing this so long. They knew and they understand that dogs are dogs, and it's not just working dog people that need things for their dog and dog training. So you go to rayallen.com. They have everything dog related that you need. Anything that when it comes to dogs, pet dogs, your pet, training dogs, police dogs, dogs you're training for other departments, anything you need, rayallen.com. They've got it. You can get on there. So if you're ordering stuff for police dogs and if you have a pet side, you can get it all in one, man. They ship it out. Got a nice big box full of a whole bunch of stuff. There's nothing better than getting a big box of dog training stuff in the mail. They also are great to us, and they offer a discount code Working Dog Radio, all capital letters, Working Dog Radio for 10% off. Check them out, rayallen.com. Great people. Ted and I use them every day.
Super excited to have American Aluminum Accessories on board with us here at the podcast. These guys manufacture a wide variety of products, from high quality cam locker toolboxes to an extensive line of products designed to meet the ever-changing needs of the law enforcement community. Around 1992, due to the demand for safe and secure transport for a local law enforcement agency's canine unit, they introduced the very first in-vehicle Easy Rider canine container. So it was basically what we now call just our inserts. They have continuously grown and expanded the products, catering to the needs and the wants of their valued customers and high-profile clientele, and catering specifically to law enforcement. Over the years, as the needs have changed for law enforcement, they've evolved and expanded the products to include inmate transport systems, the canine training aids, which I use quite a bit of, canine inserts. Every one of my guys has one of those things. And if you're not even have to be in law enforcement, I have several friends that are civilians that work lots of dogs that have the inserts put into their cars too. So if you got one that fits, you can do it. They also do contraband and animal control systems, just to name a few. So be sure to hit them up. The website is Easy Rider Online. So that's the letter E, the letter Z as in zebra, rideronline.com. If you're looking for them on Instagram and Facebook, it's American Aluminum Accessories. Feel free to hit them up there too.
So our first and oldest sponsor that's been with us from the beginning is Arno out at ALM, out there in Las Vegas area. Arno is a great dude. He makes great stuff for police work and sport work, suits, tugs. I'm telling you right now, his tugs are the best in the business. You can't get any better. Multiple colors. I buy boxes of them from him, give them out to everybody. I've got a bite suit from him. Love it. I've had it for a little over 3 years, and it's holding up like a champ. Ted's got a suit that he's had forever from ALM. We wouldn't go anywhere else, man. We love it. Arno is such a good dude. His ALMK9equipment.com is the website. Get on there. He's got pre-made suits. He can do custom suits based on your measurements. He's got stuff already made up. If you kind of get a kind of generic large size, maybe for everybody, the colors he has, man, is really cool. He can put a lot of stuff on those suits. Check him out. ALMK9equipment.com and use the discount code WD Radio for 10% off.
Running a kennel is one of those things that I always worry about is cleanliness and safety of dogs. And it seems like it's an ever-changing issue being able to house dogs and move things around, everything else. So the guys at Horizon Structure make this as easy as possible. Literally, the only thing you have to do is have water and power hookups, and they deliver it, and you can put dogs in that day. And comes on a trailer. They just drop it off. You plug it in, put dogs in it, and you're ready to rock. You keep them clean, you keep them safe, you keep them cool in the summer and warm in the wintertime. And it's completely custom. You can go mild to wild. I've seen some that were stainless steel all the way from top to bottom on the inside. And then I've seen some for a bulldog breeder that, had smaller gates because those things can't jump. So if you reach out to them, they're sitting there waiting for you to call and help you through the custom design process. They have everything from 2 dog ones up to, I want to say like 18 or 20. It's a lot you can put a lot of dogs, indoor, outdoor runs. So anything you've ever dreamed of, they've got it, or have done it, or can do it. So they've taken all the guesswork out of building it. Everything is pre-done to your specifications, and it's assembled, dropped off, boom, you're ready to rock. Things are amazing. Rigney has one. We've had him on the show a couple of times. Go check out his Instagram, and you can see he's posted it up there before. Go look Horizon up at Horizon Structures, spelled out. On the internet, it's horizonstructures.com, and you're going to look for the link in there that says commercial dog kennels, or give them a call, 888-447-4337. They'd love to talk to you and get you started on the way.
Denmother K9, what's been going on since you were on last time?
I was still active duty, obviously, for that. And then, was that pre-COVID? I don't really remember.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because my
2019, I believe.
Yeah, my medical retirement went from like then till September. My date of retirement, September 12th, 2021. And then since then, the last 6-7 months, I've really been checking off a lot of like veteran boxes for like a bunch of surgery, cancer scare, a bunch of other stuff. But now it's mostly over. So get back to teaching classes. So that's what I'm doing here.
What are you teaching here?
Teaching the canine point of injury care, canine casualty care with Paul from K9, who is another not-for-profit who raises money, donates first aid kits, a lot of the stuff that I've been a proponent for since I started the old IG. So yeah,
You post some wicked stuff on the IG.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I honestly make it up as I go. So I'm grateful and surprised at how relatively successful I've been given my lack of any real plan thus far.
Yeah. I don't know. It's been like maybe since 2018, 2019, the canine medical care guys actually going to training, it seems to have kind of blown up.
Yeah, obviously I'm a proponent for that. You know, like we all picked our jobs. You may have picked your dog, but your dog didn't pick the job and they didn't pick you. So with the rate that you see line of duty deaths, canine injuries across anywhere, any realm of dog work, being prepared for that and being able to treat it. It doesn't happen until it does.
Yeah. Have you had people out at your place? Or they go somewhere for it?
Janice Baker came through.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she was hosted by 𝗬cie PD about a year ago. Yeah, Janice Baker came down. I don't remember who she.
She may have been our first. She may have started off the medical stuff we had on. Then we had you and somebody else.
I think she was the first. She was on there.
She
one
might
of the
have
first
been.
med.
I think she recommended you. I think how
I learned a lot from Janice. I mean, I was like Janice was a major lieutenant colonel. I wasn't a sergeant yet. As I was got into special operations. So learning a lot of that stuff from her set me up for success in what I ended up doing.
You had to call her ma'am?
I did. Yeah, I did then. Yeah. Salute her and everything. She didn't really, she was never that kind of officer, but yeah.
Yeah, I could tell.
I like doing it now that I'm out and when I see them. So give them a salute and would you
come back with a middle finger?
Knock it off. Like that? Usually they do, yeah.
That's pretty funny. So what is the class that you're teaching? What is the context of it?
It's just 2 hours. So I try to prioritize, having the benefit. You see a lot of veterinarians teaching this stuff, and there's a lot lost in translation because dog handlers aren't medically trained personnel. I mean, some may have EMT, EMS, but by and large, if you have 2 hours to teach dog handlers first aid, especially in this environment, I'm really just trying to impress upon them, like, take your first aid kit with you. If it's in your glove box, you're not going to be able to get it in time. Not only for your dog, but for you, for your family, for your friends. Having it with you is what is going to save your life or your partner's life, not having it even just outside. And then also a lot of the differences in what I think you see canine first aid classes, I think they're well-intentioned, but teaching people how to bandage a paw laceration or a tail laceration with some vet wrap and some cotton gauze, or clean ears, all important stuff for animal husbandry, but it doesn't save lives. Massive hemorrhaging, airway, respiration, all that stuff. Being able to use field dressings and put on chest seals is what's going to make a difference in the worst case scenario.
Didn't you use something that you learned in one of those classes or something on the podcast you had to use on a dog at your place?
Yeah.
Was it
so this kind of goes to a comment that Worthless was making about the dogs not being well supported by admins. I had a dog in a unit that didn't have a hot pop, and the air conditioner went out during a training. It's not one of my dogs. I know the kid. He's a great handler, a great kid. And dog was it was only like 85 degrees outside, but it was about 35 or 45 minutes. Dog basically cooked. And I started an IV to cool him down, and we didn't pour fucking water on his paws and do all that shit. We tried to submerge him in cold water, and we did everything right. It just so happened that day that the SWAT team was doing medical training a mile away, and their SWAT medic had gone through her course, and they were there with an ambulance in about 10 minutes, and they took him to a vet, and they did everything they could. The dog ended up passing away, but there was things that I did, myself and Anthony Moore and some other people, to cool him down, and the initial vets were like, you guys did great. I mean, he would have died like right then, and we just basically starting cold IV and getting his core temperature dropped did the most that we could do to him. I mean, the most we could do for him at that point, and then getting him loaded up. But I mean, he was at the vet within 15 minutes of us noticing it. But yeah, it sucked. But I still to this day, this is, I guess, kind of goes in the vein of this conversation. Like, while I think the body armor for dogs is like super well intentioned, it kind of only addresses like half the problem. And every working dog, whether they're single purpose, dual purpose, search and rescue, whatever, are always going to be susceptible to heat related injuries. And there's a big misconception that like only dual purpose handlers need to have like medical training for the dogs, and like search and rescue dogs get into way gnarlier shit. And I have friends on TFD that are search and rescue handlers that are like Task Force 1, and the medical training they go through with their dogs, they're crawling through collapsed buildings and all kinds of crazy shit, and the probability of them getting hurt is also very, very high. So it's something that if you handle a working dog, whether they're search and rescue, dual purpose, whatever it is extremely important. And put fucking poppers on your cars, please.
Yeah, I just was at a search and rescue seminar at Muscatatuck, and the first day it was just the trainers setting up. There was a lady there, a young girl, like 20, 21 years old, first dog. Her dog, search and rescue dog, got into something, I don't know what, and they thought maybe she was bloating. Within the day, the dog was dead. The dog's organs all shut down. The vet called the owner and said that the blood work was a disaster. So I don't know. They get into weird shit, and it was just out in the woods. I don't know. I don't know if a spider would cause that or if some sort of insect bite, but shut down all of her organs just out of nowhere.
Severe heat injury can also cause.
Yeah, it was cold out, and it was nothing like that. It was just I think they were out just doing like kind of a live find in the woods, and then shit just went south quick. And and that can happen like for law enforcement dogs. You go into some of these nasty, disgusting houses. I know when I was a handler, they were sending us to these because it was kind of an epidemic in the city of the vacant houses, right? And then people living or breaking into the vacant houses to steal the copper. We were biting copper thieves in these fucking places. But you'd go in there, and I'd be like, there's a ferret in here. I can't send my dog in it. What is this? There's like there's poop and 18 months worth of garbage and things like that. And we had a captain eventually was like, yeah, stop sending the dogs in these houses for bullshit. Yeah, for copper, or a hooker in the house. We bit a couple prostitutes in these places. They're in there taking a shit, and we bite them because they broke in. Yep. But I got lucky. The ferret thing's real. I went to a break-in, and I sent my dog in there, and I hear this noise, and she and this ferret are in a standoff, and I'm like, oh my God, what is that? Grabbed her and got her out of there. I was like,
ferret,
fucking rabid ferret living in a vacant house. That was pretty crazy. Have you? How was the stop giving out tourniquets thing going? For dogs.
I think a lot of the things that I keep kind of parrot, I can probably continue to repeat every week and still get people that haven't seen it or heard it before. I always get asked about dog tourniquets, which just aren't a thing. I know that people will sell dog tourniquets, but you can use a $1.50 ace wrap to achieve the same effect.
You probably use a rubber band wrapped in there.
Yeah, I mean you could use
their little legs.
If you needed to, you could probably use an extension cord to stop the bleeding on a dog leg if you just want wrapped it around tight. And I wouldn't recommend it, but you could probably.
I think that's the biggest misnomer, or the biggest misconception. A lot is because that's very much the thing now. Is dudes advocating you carry a tourniquet all the time on you, and guys self-applying tourniquets and then shooting with their non-dominant hand and everything else. So, and I think that happens a lot with people that aren't in canine, including just normal medics, and they want to treat dogs like they treat humans.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of because there's not a whole lot of vessels, blood vessels and shit in their legs. It would take them forever to die from missing a leg. I mean, fuck Trent, we've been on the podcast, Ranger.
Yeah.
I mean, 𝗬cie had her fucking leg blown off and survived. I mean, so
I think her leg was shot. I think it was shot off technically.
It was shot off. Yeah. But whatever. Yeah. I mean,
when I was a handler, it was my second dog Willie. We were going to. It was on day shift, man. We're going to this burglary in progress, and there's another guy there when I get there, and he sends his dog in the front door, and the guy jumps out the second story window, right? Jumps out. And I'm rolling up, and he's running right by me, and I roll the window down. I just roll the window down. You better stop, dude. And he runs right down the sidewalk. I pop the door. Willie goes down there, bites him, takes him in the leg, takes him down. The guy starts hitting him. Willie comes off and then severs everything in his arm. Everything. He just severed it. He was in the hospital like 75 days. But he was like deep blood coming out of there. And I was like, fuck. And I ran so that somebody pulled up, grabbed him. I ran Willie back to the car, got his first aid kit because we didn't have one for humans. I got Willie's first aid kit and came out, and I don't know shit, dude. I'm just wrapping. We didn't have no tourniquets back then. It's like, I would say 2008, 2007. Just wrapping him up with stuff, and that's the only time I ever used it was on a human. Never had to use it on the dog.
We had a bite. One of our guys had a bite where they used a tourniquet, and the dude fought the dog, and they put a tourniquet on the person that they bit, and it prevented him.
Yeah. It happened after I left my agency. One of the guys got bit at training, and they had to put 2 tourniquets on him to get him to the hospital. It was so bad.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
That's a good,
real
that's a
bad.
solid
Yeah,
bite.
that's a good day.
Yeah, it was his own dog,
It was a
too.
big dog.
It was the end of
Twofer.
Yeah, it was the end of that. He was having they found he was having seizures and just went kind of crazy on it. So real quick, what I've noticed is, and probably from even when you started, is how crazy these training dummies have gotten.
Yeah.
It used to be nothing. It was pretty ridiculous. Always expensive.
Yeah.
But talk about the stuff that you guys get to use now.
Well, that was kind of cool because while I was active duty, I got to help with the prototypes of both the 2 main mannequins. There's the TACMed Solution Diesel Dog and Hero Dog, and then there's North American Rescue Canine Mannequin, Canine First Aid Mannequin. And I have the North American Rescue one because there's the price point difference between those, both still significant, as well as the North American Rescue. It takes a beating pretty well, and so when I've been traveling around running like at JC seminar, the American Tactical Canine Association one in September, we did, I think was there 150 handlers there?
There's a bunch.
So running 150, being able to run 150 handlers through these mannequins and getting that actual bleeding, I noticed because I don't like dogs whining. I've seen a lot of bad things happen to dogs, but you get that with you get guys that come out and do that, the AAR, and then they don't like the sounds, and then you got the blood. It kind of adds a little bit more of that realistic factor, the oh shit factor. I bring fog machines and like 3 different speakers with very dissonant songs that aren't the same going together. And that's what, like, this is stressful. You have to communicate intentionally loudly. I think it provides some context for a lot of the training that we got exposed to in the special operations canine community, which I think is great for law enforcement because this scenario-based training is really where you develop that muscle memory and prepare for, because you can listen to me do weird stuff on the internet all day. It may give you some knowledge, but it's like I was bad at shooting a pistol. I had to develop muscle memory and skill and technique to be able to compete in beer shoots on pie plates because I was bad at it. I could read about it all day long. It didn't help me hit pie plates. So,
right. Yeah. Cause, it's usually the training is definitely in a sterile environment. We found, we were doing HRD stuff. This is even before we even launched HRD that music and noise was a whole nother factor that and we kind of figured it out at the last minute. We were running the scenario, and Ted had Beats headphones, and I said, put them on this guy and let's blast music. So if the guy was like an East Coast old white dude, we were playing Tupac, and they're like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And death metal, you can hear it. We're outside, you can hear, and then it just really little things like that throw guys off.
yeah,
But
you're gonna just adding stress inoculation, simulating it for the scenarios, and it makes a difference.
Well, it's crazy if you listen to some of the episodes we've had with guys that were, in specialized units overseas and their dog got shot, and listen to them talk about in the fight. They're in the fight. All this shit's going on, and they're over there having to tend to the dog. It's insane to even think about.
Yeah, you get tunnel vision.
And you're there.
Yeah.
You're there, and it's like, doom, doom, shit's flying around. Shit's happening. You and maybe another dude are over there, working on this dog in the middle of it. And so that shit's real. It's real life. And hopefully in law enforcement, it's not quite that bad where it settles down a little bit, but you're still stressed. When our dog Jethro got killed, when he got shot, Ryan's in the grocery store with him by himself, and it's dark in there. And Ryan's trying to hold a flashlight in his mouth, and Jethro had a pretty hefty coat.
I remember that. He had 5.
Yeah, he was
5
hitting
rounds.
the chest a bunch. They were all through and through, and then he got hit one right in the middle of the head that didn't penetrate, but that ultimately killed him.
Yeah.
It it stressed his brain out so much that his heart like exploded eventually. But Ryan could not find the wounds, his blood and everything, but the hair. He thought I could probably do this, and he's like trying to, the one day that he's not in there with lights on, he's trying to hold it with his mouth. And so since then, Chris that took over after I left, he's had several different medical. You met Chris today,
yeah.
That's why I thought you guys knew each other. But he had several medical classes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it stuff's real good.
And that's, treating any dog casually on your own is incredibly difficult. I've had to treat dog, and I think that's kind of a benefit, I guess, in the military is that you usually have extra sets of hands. You can be like, hey, I need come here. But in that situation where you're a law enforcement handler or even search and rescue by yourself, you may not have anybody, and that really complicates everything.
And well, like where Ted's at, he's got just outside of where he's at is way more rural area than I have. And Ohio's got a lot of rural area, but Oklahoma's got fucking space. So you might be you and one other dude out there, doing all that shit. They definitely gotta be able to, to self fix some things. So if say me or Ted or somebody wanted to bring you in to have your seminar, how do we get a hold of you? How does that work?
I'm working on that now. I've got another 2 to 4 weeks before I can lift more than a gallon of milk, which I've been doing in case like Emily from Spike's Canine is listening to this and wanted to make sure that I didn't lift too much this week.
This is gonna air like way late.
I
So
have
you'll
perfect,
be
yeah.
you'll be like
Yeah,
way
you'll
you'll
be
be way out of
healed.
the.
Definitely didn't lift anything I wasn't supposed to.
You'll be way past that date.
I got the LLC now and the website up and an email address. So that way, what I'm actually going to be doing is getting like a tow behind for my truck. I'm just going on tour, like like you revert back to who you were before the Army. So I was a punk rock kid. So instead of crappy music, I'm just going to travel around teaching canine first aid to whoever.
Out of a van.
Down by the river.
You should grow a mohawk though. Because that
I did have.
punk. I
I
know.
had one, so-
Everybody I know that was into punk rock had
Yeah,
a mohawk. You
I
have a
did.
mohawk? You were a punk rock kid, weren't you?
I had a
for while?
mohawk like 5 years ago. It was all shaved on the side and like it was long hair.
We have a couple friends that we know that are into dogs and other things. At least one that was in a punk rock. Was Jake's band a punk rock band?
Not punk, but yeah.
He knew him from
Salt the Wound.
Yeah, from
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
from when he was in there. Yeah, and I'm like, what? Jake?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy that for Akron PD that I've known named Jeff forever. Great dude. He was in a punk rock band when he was a kid. A big purple mohawk.
Yeah, mine was green. I had a green mohawk.
He had some tattoos on him that almost didn't get him hired. He almost didn't get hired. He wore a long sleeve shirt and they didn't notice at his interview. So
That was my first agency. Everything was done. PT test, everything, long sleeves. And then I got hired, signed the contract. I showed up in the polo, and they're like, who is this? What are you doing here?
yeah, nice
Yeah.
suckers.
Miscreant with all your tattoos.
Your
Already
stupid
signed the
tattoos.
What are you gonna do for a
Suckers.
living?
So tell everybody where they can find you on social media and stuff.
At Denmother _K9 is the Instagram, and then there's an email link on there. The website. I'm really bad at computers. I think I've mentioned that before. So website and stuff. I've got a couple buddies helping me with now. So in the next couple weeks, I'll be up and running, and then got a couple big seminars. Actually got invited for the Army first Canine Symposium, so that'll be cool.
Nice. Where's that at?
Muscatatuck.
Oh,
And
okay. Yeah.
Then
Had you been there while you were active duty?
I had. It's a great place to train.
It is. Yeah.
And I'll be at the ATK9A
Yep.
in September in Muscatatuck again. And that was a lot of fun last year, so hopefully I have even more attendees this year because it's a lot of great training.
Every time I've been to Muscatatuck, the weather has sucked. So I'm hoping the next
It was
time
nice
I go.
for us.
It was nice last year.
Not
yeah.
for me. It always rains every time. So the tunnels are a disaster. We had two ladies. We may have talked about this on there.
Yeah.
We had two ladies and a dog get lost in there, and I had to
wow.
send another lady and a dog in to find her.
That's good training.
Yeah, it was
Follow
great.
my
We had a
voice.
live find
Yeah.
at a training event. But cool, man. Worthlesshandler.com. Worthless Handler on everything.
Yep, Instagram, Facebook.
Take it. Everyone knows who he is, anyways. This guy.
Everyone knows
And he got
Worthless.
your autograph.
Yeah,
No,
well,
I got, I mean, he's a famous one.
You're the,
It's the most.
you're worthless.
It's
handler.
we are two very awkward people. If you haven't gathered that, so
I
when
don't know
people
what to
want
do with my hands.
Yeah.
people want to come up and it's awkward. Like it's very humbling.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'm very humbled,
I
And
just
it's
hug people when they
Yeah.
come up to us.
We're
I
just-
love the show. Good.
I
We're
just
just
hug
dudes
them.
that like dogs. That's it.
Yeah.
We just like to train and do dog
I'm like,
stuff.
here's my Venmo.
I've got a couple emails of people that are like, I was able to stop my dog. Like my dog was injured, and from following you or taking your class. So that's always really
always
awesome.
cool.
Yeah.
That's great.
That means
to
a
hear.
lot.
And it'll probably, if they take your class, it'll be something like the next week. Seems how it tends to work.
Yeah.
Like when we do our scenario-based training stuff, within a week or two, someone will call us, dude, we had almost that exact same thing. As dumb as that scenario was, as goofy and crazy, we had that thing happen. Because we always tell them when we're doing those scenarios, this is never going to happen, but we're making you
I've
train at
stopped
this
saying
level.
that.
Right, because it always happens.
I've stopped saying that. Now I've started saying, we used to say this never happens, and then every time somebody goes through this, we get a phone call, a text, or whatever. And in fact, it's like in the presentation tomorrow, you'll see a handler from Florida, Brandon Donahue. Like I'm going to show an entire 6-minute video. They should give him a fucking life-saving award for that. Him not shooting that dude. But he texted me and said, "Hey, I don't know if you know this or not, but the reason is because we've done something. We did one of these scenarios, and I knew what the dog was gonna do, and I knew I didn't have to. And I'm like, fuck
That's
that.
always great.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having us
Denmother
back.
K9, Worthless Handler,
Thank you, guys.
Ted _Summers, Van S K9. Check it out. Thank you.